everyone can tell by what our two guest students today that we're going to talk about young people learning the skill of basketball. And my neat guest today, Miss Ellie Vela, who is third grade and has been in the PIPS basketball program for 3 years. And we have Cole Sykes, who has been in the 5th grade now, but has been in the program, how long, Cole?
6 years.
Whew. And I will come backwards a little bit. Most people in our city will recognize Miss Loann Baker, who has taught in our schools and has had children of your own in our schools. And she has worked with the PIPS program 17 years. You know, people don't do that unless they enjoy it. Is that true, Ms. Baker?
That's very true. That's very true.
So I'm going to give you a test. What does PIPS stand for?
PIPS stands for Players in Progress.
Ooh.
And they are definitely not only players in progress, but they're people in progress, because the PIPS program deals a whole lot with basketball, but it also has some other really important components also.
And I'll introduce, and we'll come back to that statement. Don't forget where we were.
Got it.
And another fine young man, Josh Frasier, who is an SAISD Lakeview grad, was in the PIPS program yourself for many years and then has helped coach it now for quite some time, has a sibling in PIPS. So you would have chosen to do something else with your time if you didn't enjoy this. Is that right, Josh?
Yes, ma'am. I enjoyed it a little too much, I think.
That's not true. That can't happen. Miss Baker, how in the world did you decide to do? First off, I hear rumors that you were a very good athlete yourself. Went to college on an athletic scholarship. Is that true?
That is true. Back in the dark ages, I did go to college on an athletic scholarship. Yes.
And then you coached for a while, didn't you?
I coached 4 years at Central High School.
And then you've been teaching at Goliad quite some time. Academic stuff during the daytime, how to read and do their math and science and social studies. And then how did you get involved in PIPS?
Well, actually, there were some high school parents that had been traveling with their high school athletes, and they went to Monahan's,
Yep.
I believe it was, and they saw the PIP program there. And they came back and knew that that was something that San Angelo needed. So they kind of gathered up some people with some kind of basketball experience, and I had some coaching experience, and I had 3 small children. So they asked me if I would be interested, and there were some other people that worked very hard with me to help get the program started.
So describe a little bit for our audience, when do you all meet and where?
Okay. Right now we meet once a week for about an hour and a half on Tuesdays, and we have been very fortunate to be able to use the Lincoln Middle School gym. That's kind of like our home gym. And for that hour and a half, these kids work very diligently with their basketballs and with their teammates, and we try to have lots of fun, but we work hard, don't we?
And about how many children, young people, are in PIPS this year?
We had about 30 this year.
And you all come, instead of sitting on a couch watching television on Tuesday afternoon, do you sweat? And when you first started, did you decide you wanted to go, or did somebody tell you? Ellie, did your mama say, Ellie, you got to go do PIPS?
No.
I didn't think so. How did you know about it and decide to do it?
Well, when you go to school, they give you paper and you sign it.
There you are. And it looked like something you thought you would enjoy way back when you were in 1st grade?
Yeah.
Yeah, and are still doing it now that you're so old in the 3rd grade. And Cole, did you learn about it at school as well?
Actually, I first learned about it because my brother was in it for 5 years,
Wow.
and so I saw him do it a few times, and I really liked it. So when I got a paper in kindergarten that asked if I wanted to join,
You already knew that somebody liked it. And Josh, that was a long time ago because you're not still in elementary school.
No, not quite.
So you stuck with something like that all those years. If you could summarize one or two things you got out of it over the years, what would it be?
I guess just how to work hard and achieve something, because I knew that we would work hard in pit practice, and I remember I was in 5th grade when we won the pit festival, won the big competition and beat all the other teams and all that stuff. And I remember thinking that, wow, hard work really does pay off. I remember thinking that and being like, we worked hard once a week, sometimes twice a week when it came around close to festival, and hard work really pays off. And that you can have fun and work hard at the same time.
And you got to work it. You do it individually. You get good by yourself, but you work as a group, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, Miss Baker, tell us how this got started in our world.
Back in 1987, David and Brenda Loann were junior high coaches in South Texas, and they began to have concerns about what they were seeing in the young people. A lot of instant gratification, not willing to put out effort, and they wanted to start a program where kids could see that hard work does pay off, just like Josh says, but that in life sometimes we fall down and it's important to get back up. So they started a group in the city that they were in, and from there it has become their ministry. We have groups all over the United States, and groups that some come to festival and compete, and some don't. But their main emphasis on PIPS is that we encourage kids to work hard, that we understand that sometimes we fall down in life, and we know that we get right back up. And they try to build self-esteem, self-confidence, teamwork. I actually had a parent tell me one time that their high school daughter told her that if it had not been for PIPS, she could have never tried out for cheerleader at her school. But because she had been in front of thousands of people with PIPS before, she felt comfortable in getting out there and trying out in front of her high school friends. And so a lot of stories like that, kids that have learned to do things that they never would have been able to do before. David and Brenda chose to use basketball as the tool to try and teach these things. Our kids tend to be very confident in their skills, but they also tend to be hard workers in school. These are the kids at Goliad that I see get Proud Eagle, that are on the A and AB honor roll, because they've learned to set goals and work hard to achieve them. And so there's a lot of extra benefits to getting good with the basketball. They also become not only better basketball players, but better people.
Is that true, Ellie?
Yes.
And Cole and Josh? Mm-hmm. Well, I believe it. Wow, and for you to have given this many years, Ms. Baker and Josh and Cole, all of you, a lot of years, that is, a lot of people in our world don't give that much time to something like this, but you all have learned so much through it, and it's worth it. Well, talk to me a little more about the competition.
Well, the competition is where you compete against 4 other states.
Like, it isn't just Texas?
No.
Oh, my goodness, when do you do that?
Well, probably about, let's say,
At the end of spring break this year.
So real soon, y'all are going to go to competition? And where is that going to be?
in Abilene.
Okay, so you don't have to go too far, and you'll go to a gym, and then you'll do your, it's more than just dribbling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, can you sort of give me an idea of what else you do besides just learn to dribble and it doesn't go flying somewhere?
I can say spinning the ball.
Spinning it. What else, Cole?
They're between leg pass and spider.
What's a spider?
It's kind of hard to describe.
say
It's
that's-
probably a lot easier to show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you show it? Can you show a spider?
Just
Show
step
me
right
a
there.
spider.
Carpet's a little different. Good job.
Way to go. Way to go, way to go. You don't exactly learn to do that the first time. It takes a lot of work at something like that, doesn't it? Ms. Baker, how many of your kids, just a ballpark figure, then go on and play basketball in middle school and in high school?
Well, I would say we have a pretty good percentage that go on and do that. But the nice thing about PIPS is it's geared towards those children that have athletic ability, but it's also geared towards those children who just want to be a part of a team. The kids are really encouraged to advance at their own rate. So if they have a tendency to go towards athletics, they tend to get into what we call the advanced skills quicker. And those children who just enjoy doing it, they start with the basic skills, and there's skill levels for everything, and it really depends on how much the child wants to advance and how much work they want to put into it.
Well, you all perform sometimes at ball games. Did you get to do that some this year?
Yes.
Okay. And then you're getting ready. How many of you will you all take to Abilene in a few weeks?
We are taking about half of our group
Okay.
with us.
And there'll be a lot of other teams there and judges.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So have you all been to the festival before?
Yes, I did it last year.
You went last year, and Cole, you've been too?
Every year that we've gone, I went.
Okay. Is it scary? Do you get nervous?
Kind of right before our performance, you kind of get nervous.
Well, and you know what, you people, before big ball games and before I give a speech or something, I get really nervous too, even though I'm a lot older than you. Well, what else could our audience learn about PIPS, Ms. Baker?
Well, we have performed at Lakeview High School and Central High School. We've also performed at Angelo State. We get to do a lot of their halftimes. A few years, when the Harlem Globetrotters have come, we've got to perform at the Harlem Globetrotters. And a lot of times, these kids have actually been compared to the Harlem Globetrotters with some of the skills they get to do. And we had a Harlem Globetrotter come to one of our practices one year, and he was spinning and showing us all the stuff that they could do. And I looked around, and some of our kids popped up their little ball, and they were like, yeah, we can do that too. And so they work really hard, and their skills are very impressive. And so when they get a chance to show it off, they're more than ready. More than ready.
Well, Ellie, do you have a skill you would like to show us?
Spinning the ball.
Oh, let's see it. Woohoo! Yay! So that's really hard, both of what you've done. I am so impressed. Way to go. Josh, what was your favorite skill that you got good at?
Ooh, I don't know. I really like spinning, but I had a motivation to learn to spin because my mom told me I couldn't go to competition until I learned how to spin. So
Well, that was a good trade-off with Mom, wasn't it?
It really was. It really was.
Wow, that was a good thing for your mother to dangle that in front of you to make you work toward a goal, wasn't it? So at this point, how do you think y'all are going to do at competition?
What do you think?
We're probably going to do good like last year.
Like last year? You did good last year?
Did we do good last year? What did we do?
We won.
We won the
First
national
place.
championship, didn't we? Yes, we did.
Oh my goodness! That is so neat, Ms.
It's very
Baker.
exciting, and when you look at, there are usually 700 to 800 PIPs that come, and they come when there is actually a group that comes all the way from New York, and they come and perform, and we compete. Not only do they compete in our group events, but they also get to enter individual events on their own and compete against other PIPs, their same age, their same years in PIPs, and so we get a lot of competition in, and we usually do pretty good, don't we?
Anything else, Ms. Baker or Josh,
Anything you
about
guys wanna
PIPs?
It's a great program, and there are a lot of people that have had their children in it that are very committed to it, and it's something. It can be a family sport because we have a lot of siblings, and festival is just kind of the culmination of our season where we get to go and compete against other PIPs, and kind of show our stuff.
Well, I sure am proud of you.
And we would love to have many more kids in it. We would love the opportunity to share what we know about PIPs with anybody that's interested.
Well, I absolutely wish you the best, and I need either an email or a call to know how you did. And we will be cheering for y'all to do as well or better than you even did last year.
Okay, we can do that.
Way to go, and way to participate in something that is so worthwhile. And as Josh has told us, to learn how to set a goal and accomplish and to end up doing so well at something. Way to go. Thank you, Miss Baker and Josh and Cole and Ellie, for coming and teaching me a lot about this neat and worthwhile activity right here in San Angelo.
Thank you.
Good job.
Appreciate it.